Welcome back to Video Star 07 Garage, where we're up under the 4th Gen Z28. This is a 2002, and we're going to stuff some fat tires under her. In the front there you got some 275s and 315s in the back, and I'll have some more sizes and specs and whatnot in the comments. But what I wanted to talk about, and let me pause it here, we'll change views. And what I wanted to show you was the inside of this here. You'll see people talk about clearance problems when you go to 11-inch wide wheel in the 315s, and you will. And I'll go more into depth here, but I wanted to show you this is an approximately ride height. And what happens is, as you let this axle drop, we'll go into full droop mode. If I can get her, you're going to hit the wheel big time with just dropping it a couple inches. And what I've done here is I clearanced a lot of this stuff, and I'll let her drop on down. Here. And you can see how far down it goes. And here, we'll pause her again here. Okay, we switched over to the other side here on the passenger side. We was over on the driver's side. Switched over to the drinker side here, passenger side. And I want to show you what the stock one looks like. And of course, you got one of these cars, you got one. But if you haven't looked at your bottom out stop in a while, they get pretty bad. And I got some new ones. I got a new one here, nice urethane one. And I got a thing that this is what they use on the SS cars. Is they put a spacer there, and the stop sits underneath of it. And the reason for that is to try to keep the wheel from traveling all the way up into the wheel well, because they got a little bigger wheel and tire and whatnot. But here's the problem when you go to 11-inch wide wheel. What I'm trying to do with the 315s is, especially now you guys have got the lowering springs and whatnot, your rim is going to sit, you know, up in here somewhere. But the problem is, and I showed you at the opening, that as your axle drops down, the inside of your rim is going to hit this bracket, especially towards the back, because it's kind of at an angle. It's kind of weird. They've got it angled in further towards the front of the car than they do towards the back. So what I devised is, I still want to use a bottom out bumper, because I live in a very rough street area. We get a lot of frost heaves in the pavement and whatnot, and it can be a very almost off-road experience driving around here. And I wanted it to be able to bottom out if it needed to, and I'm sure that it will. I can see a shiny spot on my axle where it's been bottoming out right now, looking at it. But what I wanted to do was go with the SS type spacer. Now, here's what you'll get into, and this thing is so shiny. I hate chopping it up, but I did. You got to chop back quite a bit. I don't know if I can get in here and show you this or not, but you've got to chop off. You see where they've got a relief cut in this thing already, and that's so it tucks up under this little lip that they got here. which you gotta chop back to almost to the bolt holes. I'm just taking, and I got a bandsaw, and then you're gonna chop back this, and you're gonna have to trial and error it. But this bracket you need to cut back here, and really not all the way across here really, but you can just cut this lip off of here and move and remove a lot of this to where you're grinding into this nut that they've got welded in, spot welded in there, I guess. Captive nut there. And, in order for your wheel to be able to move down as your axle drops down, and I've got her all the way set down now. Your rim is going to hit here. Now, a lot of guys just ignore this altogether, or just chop the whole bump stop bracket off, and I did not want to do that. I want a bump stop. So, this is my way of doing it anyway. Like I say, everybody is going to need to take in a trial and error a little bit, size it up on your car, see what's hitting, what isn't. You'll see a lot of guys recommending, we'll look forward a little bit here, that you take a big BFH and beat this area in here, and bend this here. I'm not really having so much of a problem there, but if I do, I'm going to trial run it and see what happens. And if I do, well, I'll take the BFH and we'll beat the wheel well in, and we'll bend that little thing, little piece of sheet metal forward. But I was more worried about this. Now that's up to you. Like I say, some people don't worry about it. I seen one guy that he didn't modify his bracket or bump stop at all, and he's got some lowering springs and whatnot, and he says, well, whenever I jack it up, I always jack it up by the axle. It's not going to be a problem. But let's say you drop it off at a shop somewhere and don't really think about it, and the plane go overhead there, and you don't really think about it a whole lot. Your axle's going to drop, your wheel's going to hit this, and you are going to gouge big time. You're going to freak out the people at the shop. Or let's say you had to get her towed or something weird. You're going to screw up your rims. I've got her clearanced out like I showed you on the other side there, to where it doesn't hit at full droop. They call that droop. Alright, I'm going to quit rambling on here, and if you have any questions, comments, you'd like to see some more in-depth on what I'm doing here, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, yell at me, whatever you want to do. And thanks for looking in, and we'll talk to you later.